So one of the interesting things about this evening's program is that we have three members, Senator Ingebrigtsen, Representative Marquart, and Representative Miller, all who are going to be leaving at the end of this session and are not seeking another term in their respective House, the Senate and House. And I thought it would be appropriate. We have about 10 minutes left. I've got a couple of other issues that we may get to, but I want to leave enough time to give each of them an opportunity to maybe talk about two things. And the two things I have in mind are, first, as you reflect back on your time and service here in St. Paul at the Capitol, is there something in particular that you think you've accomplished or participated in that was particularly significant? And I'd like to have you share that with our viewers. And is there any advice that you would offer to the legislature that will be coming, the legislature that will be elected in November and will start on January 2 of 2023, that you think that they should focus on, maybe institutionally or maybe from policy? It's kind of an open field question, but I think we should give an opportunity to our retiring members. And Senator Ingebrigtsen, I'm guessing you might have a little bit in age on Representative Miller and Representative Marquart, so maybe we'll give you the floor first. Maybe you could talk a little bit about your career.
Judge, I'm not even anywhere as over their age, not that far, actually. And as you can see, I got a full head of hair, more than I can say for.
Yeah, well, you're doing better than I am. So anyway, there is that.
Ouch.
My wife has asked me that very question. What are you going to say when they say, what have you accomplished when you've been in the Senate? Well, I think just getting here is a great accomplishment, and it's a great honor to serve the people of West Central Minnesota. I've served like 5 or 6 different counties over the going on 16 years here now, and not only as the sheriff, but now in the Senate, and just the idea, and people need to know that there's 201 of us that come to the legislature, and it's a true honor. There isn't very many that get that opportunity. Tom Bach was talking about it on the floor, I think, last year, and I think we're upwards of about 1,700 state senators in the history of Minnesota since there was a Democrat-Republican split. And that's quite an honor. I mean, that's a lot of people that have an opportunity to run for office. Not too many get that opportunity that we've all had, and it really is. But it is a service, and there's many things. I can talk about the seniors that I've helped a couple of years ago when the senior homes that were so charged and real, having a tough time. We were able to recover them, I think, and get them back on track. I think that's another priority that we should be looking at this year. And hopefully the administration agrees that there's wings out here in these beautiful nursing homes that are being closed up because there's just not enough money to pay the help. And so that's one of the things that I hope this new legislature pays more attention to. We got to take care of those people who have been working so hard to take care of us to this point, and let's not forget those. I know Senator Abler talks about taking care of the mentally challenged folks, and at the very least we have to take care of them. And there's some of those homes that now are being threatened to be shut down, and I've always been an advocate for that, and will continue to do that. And of course, my public safety, I think I helped an awful lot with that, and I like to say that I certainly stood against the recreational marijuana, and hopefully I can get to my 16th year by saying that we have not yet made that foolish step of making it legalized here in Minnesota. So, for me to give you one, it's tough, but it's been a true honor to work with the gentlemen that are sitting here today, and the many that have come and gone, and I want to put a special shout out to Senator Thomasoni, who has been just a tremendous partner and a friend of mine that's now going through some real medical issues, working with guys like that, and it becomes a real family, and I really appreciate that. Really appreciate the folks that allowed me to be here.
Representative Marquart.
Well, Senator Ingebrigtsen said it so well, and it is just a great sense of honor that I've had serving the residents of 22 years who've had the confidence in you to send you back to St. Paul. And you drive on that road where you're going past the St. Paul Cathedral, and at night you look and the Capitol is all lit up, the dome is all lit up, and you just think, I work there and I represent the folks back home in the state of Minnesota. And what an honor that it just gives you chills when you would kind of look at that and just see that. And, probably the proudest thing that I felt actually was the most enjoyable thing I did as a legislator was going door to door, both in the election years and the non-election years, because you got to meet so many wonderful people and meet so many friends and really understand what people were thinking about. But it's just been such a high honor, as Senator Ingebrigtsen mentioned, and just, I have to, thank my family and my constituents and my students who I've taught for 38 years, who kept me so optimistic and young and so forth, for allowing me to serve not only the state for 22 years, but my local community for another 13. And, I look back and think about, what could I tell legislators into the future? And, when I talk to my government students, you've got the 10 steps on how a bill becomes a law, come up with an idea, it's introduced and so forth. But what I tell them that the textbook never mentions is the personal relationships of legislators and the respect and the trust that they have among legislators that really makes legislation work. And you don't see that in a textbook, but that's really what makes it work. And, I look back at things that I didn't really accomplish anything. It was the entire legislative body and the governor who ultimately made things happen for your community. And I hope legislators into the future just remember that you're one body there, you're working together, and even though we can get these political rifts, it's those relationships of bond of trust and responsibility that really brings legislation together. So it's been a great 22 years, and I leave with absolutely no regrets. And it's just, I am very optimistic about the future too. As a teacher,
Representative,
I look at our youth, and it's a good future coming up.
Representative Miller, you've got about a minute and a half or so. Sorry.
Okay, I'll be brief. I think Representative Marquart hit it on the head about the relationships. That's what I would tell people. Politics can be rough. The partisanship can be rough, but in our society right now, we've lost trust with each other. We want to fight before we do anything else. And I really hope that we can change that. And people that are coming into this legislature, build relationships with people that might surprise you, who you want to meet with, because you will find commonalities that will surprise you. Look for people that show you respect and you return the respect back to them. I really want to probably finish this up with what I started with. When I was first elected, my good friend, State Senator Dave Thompson, I walked into the House chamber, and I'm a very blue-collar guy growing up, and I was amazed that I had a seat in this beautiful room. And I talked to him about it, and he said, never forget that feeling, never forget that your responsibility that you have in this room. So if I leave any legacy from here, I hope that I served the legislature well and that I served it with the honor that it deserves.
Very good. I want to thank all of our guests, Senator Frentz. We're not going to give you an opportunity, I guess. You have 15 seconds. Anything you want to share with us as we're going out?
It's an honor to serve with all three of you gentlemen. It's an honor, Justice Anderson, to be on your show. And if I echo anyone's sentiments, that when you give respect to another legislator, you get it back, and that helps your constituents and helps the state. And you should all three be proud. We're very grateful.
All right. On that positive and upbeat note, I want to thank all four of our guests this evening. I want to remind you, viewers who were with us this evening, that this is your program. You can call in your questions or send them in to us via email as we go off the air this evening, and we'll see that next week's panel get them. I want to remind you that we will be back here next week, and we'll be back every week that follows until the legislature goes home. Thank you all, and good night.